Hey guys, Lampy here again. Just out on the second leg of my trip here. I figured I'm going to turn the camera around. People could actually see where I'm riding. And what I'm coming up on is a very famous bridge as far as antics of Mike and Steve go. For some reason we had this brilliant idea. Hey, it's snowing outside. It's the middle of January, and it's the coldest day of the year so far. It's 17 below zero. Let's dress warmly, get on our bikes, and ride the Fatheads. Well, you know, that was that was quite the trip. So right here, you can see the vibration from this bridge. This very bridge, Mikey and I had to ride over. Now, we had a couple of beers before we left the house. And we hopped on the bikes, and it's cold as you know what. The streets are barely plowed, but we got our good tires. We're getting through it. A lot of it was ice, so it was kind of slippery. But anyways, I have a video that I will post and share at a later date of that fateful night. And it was quite fun. And we did make it to Fatheads. And once again, Matt Cole, the man behind Fatheads, he opens the door for us. He saw us coming, and he's like, "What the hell are you guys doing?" I said, "Hey, we're just riding to our happy place." And that it was. So we got into our happy place and had our chicken wings, salad, and beers. And proceeded to pull our phones out and call our significant others to bring the truck and come and pick us up. We were not going to ride home in that. So at least we had half a brain to do that, because a couple guys with a couple Fatheads IPAs in them, probably not a good idea riding in that kind of weather. So, you know, just the weather thing, the crazy things that we did. One day, Mikey and I, it's been a while since we rode our bikes to Fatheads, and the weather was not looking all that great. This is a great new addition that they put on the trail here, by the way. Look at the scenery, the green, everything, hey guys. And yeah, it's just a really nice little section, and what this leads up to is a hill riding, a sled riding hill. That the Metro Parks put together, and it's a great place to bring families, have your kids sled ride. We can see the hill in the distance there. Just really cool. The Metro Parks, like I've said before, do a great job. It's awesome. I love riding out here. So anyways, back to Mikey and I riding in horrible weather. The weather looked very suspect. It was very cloudy. It was most likely going to rain. The problem being, we did not realize how hard it was going to rain. So Mikey and I hop on our bikes, and there's a drizzle. We're like, oh, we've ridden this before, it's no big deal. And so we ride along, we get about a mile and a half into our ride, and it's a deluge. I mean, it is just coming down, you can barely see, it's a wall. So we were at an underpass, we were at a bridge that goes over 71 at that point. So we stopped there. Mikey looks at me, he goes, "Dude, I don't think we're gonna make it. I don't think we're gonna do it." I said, "Mikey, look at us. We haven't been to Fatheads in such a long time." And I said, "We are totally soaked as it is. Our bikes are soaked. We are soaked." And I'm like, "We're going." He's like, "You're an ass." I said, "No, come on, Mikey, we could do this." He goes, I said, "We're either going to get totally soaked going home, or we're going to go get totally soaked going to our happy place, Fatheads." So we proceed to carry on our journey to Fatheads, which was a downpour the entire way. So we get in the building, and they always let us bring our bikes in. Man, my guy was pretty reluctant. I'm going to turn the camera. My guy was pretty reluctant to let us bring our bikes in that day. Because not only were those bikes just dripping, soaking wet, so was Lampy and Mikey. We were totally soaked head to toe. I mean, I could not believe the water that came off of us. So the guy goes, man, you guys are crazy. The one server that we always saw. He goes, you guys are crazy, man. I said, hey, you got to get the fatheads. And that was, I guess that was our motto, get the fatheads. I don't know. So anyways, we go ahead and do that. We get there, and we're dripping wet. And then our server, he's like bringing out these wet floor signs, and he's mopping up everything. And he's like, man, you guys are making, he was a little upset. He goes, you guys are making a mess here. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And I said, we'll tip you good, which we always did. We always treated everybody there at Fatheads pretty good. So we got totally soaking wet, had our chicken wings, had our salad, drank our 2 beers, and proceeded to get our phones out and call our significant others. Kind of sounds like a repeat story, but they were not too happy about it because they had to go out, get Mikey's pickup truck. They had to go out in the rain and come and get us. Not all that happy. They came, and we're like, hey guys. They're like, yeah, whatever. I said, well, let's have another beer. They're like, I don't want a beer. You dragged us out in this. I'm like, okay, we're sorry. But, those are things that Mikey and I did. They understood. We do stupid stuff. Mikey and I did stupid things. We knew the stupidity of it. We knew the consequences of the stupidity. But for some reason, we still committed the stupidity. So it was just a couple guys having a good time. We were just out having fun. And fortunate for us, Kathy and Sherry put up with our garbage. They like going to Fatheads too, so I'm going to head back over that bridge. I'm going to turn this camera. You can see the bridge here. Picture this bridge completely covered in ice. 17 below zero, steady snowfall, and two idiots out riding their bikes. But hey, like I said, well, all right, I'm going to do a Forrest Gump. Stupid is what stupid does. And we did stupid, but it was some really fun stupid. We have no regrets. We have no regrets of doing any of our stupid stuff. So yeah, good times there. So anyways, the bike, the phone mount, it appears to be working rather well. I've got longer videos that I'm going to have to somehow snip down a little bit and edit, which I'm not really good at that right now. So I guess I need some practice. So this might be some good videos to practice on. But, just the phone mount is working well. I'm really happy with it. I hope the trail pictures that you're seeing are nice and clear, no vibration. I'm up here on Bagley Road in Middleburg Heights right now, once again by the hospital. So I try to stay in close proximity to the hospital in case I get hurt. So, just another funny story about that. I'm going to switch the camera around. Another Mikey and I story. We're at Royal View, and it was another one of those stupid is what stupid does. It was raining all day. It was muddy. Mountain biking in the mud is fun, but you got to really be on your game. So we're riding, and Mikey, you got to keep up with Mikey. He's ripping it down the trail, and I'm behind him trying to keep up with him the best I can. And all right, I'm crossing a busy intersection here, and my bike just errored out because I hit a bump. It's one thing I don't like about this bike. So I got to go through the pedals one time, one revolution to get it to reset. So anyways, we're trucking down this section, and the portion that we're going down is like a river. And So Mikey kind of slows up a little bit, but I'm trying to catch up to Mikey. So there's this little zigzag S section coming up, and there's a bank to it, and it's right on the side of a hill. So we're trucking along, and I'm like, Mikey, I'm coming. And next thing you know, I hit that bank. My tire goes out from under me. I buckle up. My handlebar goes into my ribs. At that point now, I am laying on the ground, gasping for breath. I could not breathe. And I'm like, oh, no, this isn't good. This is not good at all. So anyways, Mikey's like, you got to stand up and walk. You got to get out. You got to walk it out. I'm like, let me just get on the bike and ride. So I got on the bike, and yeah, that wasn't going to happen. Man, my ribs were killing me. So anyways, Mikey's like, guys your age, he had to bring the age thing up. Guys your age, they could easily get pneumonia from a broken rib. You should go to the hospital. I'm like, Mikey. He's like, I've seen people get pneumonia. I'm like, oh shit. So he takes me to the hospital, right? So I go in there. I'm starting to feel better. I mean, it's just hurting really bad. I'm catching my breath again. So they go in, they do x-rays, all that stuff. And I have this male nurse. Real nice fella. He was very easy on me. He didn't, like when I had to lift my arms up, he's like, here, I'll help you, blah, blah, blah. For my x-rays and everything. And I was just in really bad pain. So they gave me something for that pain. And I started feeling a little bit better. So they put me back in this room, and Mikey all the while is out in the waiting room waiting for me. And so the nurse comes back in, and I said, hey, my buddy Mikey's out there sitting all by himself. He's waiting on me. He brought me here. Can I bring him in? He goes, oh, I'll go get him for you. So it was kind of an interesting interaction there. But he did go get Mikey, and Mikey's like, what did you tell that guy? I'm like, well, I just told him my buddy's out there sitting by himself, and I'd like to have him just come back here. We could, keep company. He goes, yeah, I thought maybe he thought we were in a relationship or something. I'm like, oh, okay. So, yeah, that was another interesting story. And no broken rib, just bruised very badly. Mikey, I was ready to kill him, scaring the shit out of me with the pneumonia thing. And, a man of your age. They told me that. They also told me that in the hospital. I was 48 years old at the time. 48 years old is a young buck to me. You're not old at 48. So the doctor tells me, he goes, well, Mr. Lampert, all we could do is give you some pain medication. You're going to have to take it easy. He goes, but for a person of your age, there's nothing we really could do. I'm like, wait a second. A person of your age? Then he does go and proceeds to tell me, if we put bandages on it and you collapse a lung or something because there's no expansion of your lung, because we're trying to, you could get pneumonia. I'm like, son of a, you gotta be kidding me. So Mikey was kind of right on the pneumonia thing, but I didn't appreciate him scaring me like he did. But anyways, Mikey's Mikey. Mikey is Mikey. He was telling me like it is. You're old. Get over it. So I did. I got over it. So anyhow, I just wanted to do a short video here on how my bike, the phone mount is working on the bike. But anyways, I got a little carried away. I got the gift of gab. I can talk all day. But these videos should only be so long. I hope you enjoy it. And we'll talk to you soon. Lampy out.